Last week I made a video called Aaron Rodgers is sabotaging himself. And oh my, it might be my worst received video in a long, long time. Very interesting. Now, Packers fans were mad, and understandably so. And I was like, okay, why are they mad? Let me listen to them. Let me try to listen to their comments. And a lot of them were, some of the comments I got were hater, clickbait. This is your worst video I've ever seen. And one guy challenged my work ethic, and I didn't like that. I was like, It made me look inside myself and go, okay, am I really doing the best I can? But let's re-examine. And my fear was that it was confirmation bias. My fear was this is the definition of confirmation bias. Confirmation bias is the tendency to interpret new information as confirmation of one's existing beliefs or theories. And I've had this ongoing belief and theory about Aaron Rodgers that look, and let's be honest, he didn't get along with his last head coach, Mike McCarthy. And I've been building this narrative for a long time that says, if Aaron Rodgers does not listen to his head coach, his new head coach, Matt LaFleur, it's not going to work out. And so I think I fell prey to confirmation bias a little bit, where we heard a story about Aaron Rodgers. I'll read the full quote in a minute. We'll get there. But we heard a story about Aaron Rodgers, and I was like, oh, sounds like exactly what I've been talking about for months. And so I was like, okay, yes, it's true. Yes, we're going with it. And so I acknowledged my fault, right? I assumed more than I should have, and I took part in confirmation bias a little bit, because I heard this quote and it says, "Oh man, here we go again. That's what's going to happen." So this is what Aaron Rodgers said. I'm going to read the quote word for word. He was talking to a guy named Mike Silver. This is the full quote. It's long, but I wanted to give it justice and do the topic the right way, because I genuinely felt bad. I thought I misrepresented Aaron Rodgers a little bit in my last episode. And so let's dive in and do it the right way. This is what Aaron Rodgers said. He said, "It's a conversation in progress." We don't know what they were talking about, but next he was sitting by his locker. He sort of chuckles, and he says, "I don't think you want to ask me to turn off 11 years. And he means 11 years of reading defenses. He said, "We have a number of check with me's and line of scrimmage stuff. It's just other stuff that not many people in this league can do." He continues and says, "That's not like a humble brag or anything. It's just a fact. There aren't many people that can do at the line of scrimmage what I've done over the years." I mean, obviously, Tommy means Tom Brady can do it, no doubt. Peyton Manning can do it. Drew Brees can do it. Patrick Mahomes will be able to do it. Ben Roethlisberger has called the 2-minute drill for years. There are a few of us who have done it, who've just done it. It's kind of second nature, and that's just the icing on the cake for what I can do in this offense. I heard the quote and was concerned, because everyone was reporting, hey, Aaron Rodgers went off on his coach, and that word for word. If you don't know the context of that, you go, that's not great. That's really not a great quote. And if you take the quote out of context, it's not perfect. But here's the background behind the quote. It's an article on NFL.com, an article by Mike Silver, and the article was really discussing a small nuance in the new Packers head coach's system. Matt LaFleur is a new Packers head coach, and he was talking about how the way the offense is designed leaves a limited ability for a quarterback to change the play at the line of scrimmage. In the past, with quarterbacks like Kirk Cousins and Marcus Mariota, are two quarterbacks Matt LaFleur has worked with before, they were not guys who had an ability to change the play entirely freely at the line of scrimmage. They had some power to do that, but it was limited. Aaron Rodgers is not Kirk Cousins. Aaron Rodgers is one of the best quarterbacks in the entire NFL. I think he's the top three. I think it's Brady, Brees, Rodgers. Those are the best three, in my opinion, in the NFL. And so it doesn't really make sense for Aaron Rodgers to have limitations on his ability to change the play at the line of scrimmage. Totally. I even said that in my last video. But Mike Silver's article is honestly it's nerdy, and it's really it's just going in depth about weird, nerdy nuances about their offense. And rather than reading a concerning piece, when I read the Mike Silver article, one of the main comments I got in my last video was, go read the Mike Silver article. You're missing something here. And so Mike Silver's article was not a piece that would concern you. It was not a story of a quarterback and a coach butting heads and fighting. It was really just about how two guys are building a relationship and they're growing and learning how to work together. Fairly mundane. Again, the word I use is nerdy, boring, nuanced. It's actually not that juicy of a story. It's just like, hey, if you love football and you like nerdy football stuff, read this thing. So I'm going to take one on the chin here. You know, I'm going to own this mistake. The stories and articles I read were by people who read Mike Silver's article. I didn't go directly to the source. I read people who re-reported what Mike Silver said, and they took the quote and sensationalized it, and I went with it. You know, I became part of that whole problem. And so honestly, upon reflection, Mike Silver, who was the original source of this quote, after reading it, I feel significantly less concerned about the Packers now than I did a week ago. Last Tuesday, I felt concerned. I don't really feel that concerned about it. I'm actually excited because if Aaron Rodgers gets along with Matt LaFleur, his new head coach, then the Packers offense is going to be special. It's going to be really, really cool. You know, Sean McVay is a creative, really exciting play caller in the NFL. What he does is creates great matchups and takes advantage. He's creative and smart. He's got a good offense. And a creative, smart, well-designed offense was able to take a quarterback like Jared Goff, a guy who we thought might be a bust in the NFL, and make him an incredible quarterback that led his team to a Super Bowl. So a creative offense got Jared Goff from NFL bust to Super Bowl. What could you possibly do with a guy like Aaron Rodgers? That's the power of a creative, well-designed offense. Now imagine one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the entire NFL, Aaron Rodgers, with creative play design, with good matchups, with a well-designed offense. What kind of jump is he going to take? If Jared Goff made a big jump, what kind of jump could a guy like Aaron Rodgers take when he's got good matchups? He's got good play calls. He's in a good situation to succeed. You're talking about Aaron Rodgers dominating. That is the result if it works out with Matt LaFleur. If Matt LaFleur and him really get along, everybody's got to look out. Because the Packers now have a good defense. They have a good head coach. I think they have a guy who's got creative play design, which I think leads to winning because they have Aaron Rodgers and they're regrouping with a set of wide receivers they have. I think everyone could be in trouble playing the Packers this year, and I think Packers fans should feel encouraged. You know, I led the charge. You know, I didn't lead the charge, but I was a part of the outrage that went, "Hey, Aaron Rodgers, that's not good. Don't do that." And I think really it was totally overblown. And in reality, we have every reason to be excited about the Packers and really have every reason to go, they could turn some heads and be very scary to play against. So now, one final thought I have about Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to echo something I said in my last video about Aaron Rodgers. I don't want Aaron Rodgers talking about his coach. I just don't. It's not smart. It causes unnecessary drama. It might not be his fault. It's not fair necessarily. But the reality is, anytime Aaron Rodgers talks about his coach, there's only one way he can answer any question. All Aaron Rodgers can say about his coach at this point is say, "I love my coach. Things are going great." "Oh, but what about blah, 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 blah?" No. Aaron Rodgers goes, "Man, I don't know what to tell you. I love my coach. Things are going great." That's the only way he can answer. It's not fair. I agree. Not fair, but Aaron Rodgers needs to understand the narrative being told about him. Not his fault. It's because of the past with Mike McCarthy. But Aaron Rodgers cannot give any reason to doubt or to be unsure about his head coach. All he can say about his head coach is, "I love him, things are great." I feel bad for helping sensationalize the last quote from Aaron Rodgers about his coach. I do. I legitimately, I own my part in it. I feel bad. I hope to avoid that in the future. I will do my best, and I will work hard to do a good job. In fact, I feel like I got duped a little bit, you know, because there are so many articles saying he trashed his coach. I was like, man, well, okay. But I think some people are out there that don't care. There are some people who do not feel bad when they screw up and when they misrepresent people. Some people intentionally take quotes, especially when there's a story like Aaron Rodgers where he's had a history with coaches before. Some people intentionally take Aaron Rodgers' quotes and find ways to make them sound worse and frame them to sound terrible and bad. And Aaron Rodgers needs to defend himself against those people. He needs to not give them any ammunition at all. Again, not fair at all. Not necessarily something Aaron should have to worry about, but it's also just the reality of the position. You don't want to give the locker room or the fan base any reason to doubt your new head coach. There's a great video about this. It's by my friend Tom Grossi. It's called "The Problem with the NFL Media." And in some ways, it was very motivating and inspiring to me. I recommend you go watch it. So I want to do a better job moving forward, but I repeat something. Aaron Rodgers needs to understand the narrative being told about him. He should not say anything ambiguous or negative about his coach at all. Do not give people any ammunition. The only thing he should say, if he's ever asked about his head coach, all he can say right now is, I love Matt LaFleur. He's doing a great job. Things are awesome. All positive. It needs to be all overwhelmingly, annoyingly positive. He's got to let the private stuff, anything they're working through, whether it's mundane, a big deal or not. It sounds like this thing was not a big deal. Just, hey, yeah, we have a kink. We're working through it. Don't talk about it. Aaron Rodgers, do yourself a favor. Don't talk about it. Just say, hey, things are great. Let your private issues be private. Don't talk to reporters. Don't give them anything. Don't give anybody anything to run with, and you'll be better off. I genuinely think the mistake Aaron Rodgers made here was saying anything but positive stuff about your coach. You can't. You got to know what's being talked about you. You just can't do it. So, again, to summarize, feel good about Aaron Rodgers. I think that, honestly, he could work really well with Matt LaFleur. Feel encouraged. But Aaron Rodgers, got to watch what he says. He should not say anything ambiguous or negative about his head coach. My name is Zach Schaumler. This is my podcast, Strong Opinion Sports, and it is my favorite thing in the entire world. I love it. It is my dream to do this show, and it's my full-time job. And if you want to help support me, there's a couple things you can do. Number one, help me grow by telling your friends about Strong Opinion Sports. Share this on social media. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, I don't care. Screenshot it, put it on your Instagram story. Do me a giant favor. Help me grow by telling your friends about the show. That's the number one way you can help me no matter what. Another way you can help me if you want, you can support me on Patreon or PayPal. It's a huge help to me. My PayPal is paypal.me/Zach Schaumler. My Patreon account is patreon.com/Zach Schaumler. If you have no money to give, no problem. I totally understand. I'm a broke college kid myself. I get it. I've been there. But please, I ask, if you want to support me, the number one thing you can do to help me is tell your friends about Strong Opinion Sports. Share it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever it is. Help me grow by telling your friends about this podcast. My name is Zach Schaumler. Thank you so much, and have a great day.